Okay, so greetings. We are just hanging out on Sunday night, and we are going to play a little bit of Magic Realm. Um, so we have four characters. We have Woods Girl, White Knight, Druid, and Dwarf. So totally new great game, and I think we will vaguely keep track of scores here in the long run and just continue to keep track of our scores for each character as we go. Don't call it, it's not a tournament or anything. We're not committing to finishing this. We have a lot of games on the plate right now, and so getting through one of these usually takes about 4 days, and that's just a lot of time right now. So I would expect that I would probably get through this by the end of this week, along with all the rest of the crap that I'm sort of putzing with. But I figured we would get to a little bit of Magic Realm since we've been talking about Magic Realm and uh, Dragons Down off and on. Um, I figure let's get to it. We're playing obviously the questing variant here, and you see our four characters. We got Woods Girl here, Druid up here, White Knight over here, Dwarf here. So they all are in different starting locations, which is sort of cool. The dwarf has a great board for the dwarf. If you look, all the caves are literally right in a row there, so that's pretty sweet for him. So what we're going to do now is we're going to draw quests and mark them down and get set up here. So I'm going to deal these out. So give me a moment. It sticks. Okay. Um, we have Spellmaster, Thief, and Sudden Insight. Um, I definitely think I'll take those. Those are good cards for her for the most part. Spellmaster will give her potentially a chit, magic chit, which she could definitely use a second magic chit. Sudden Insight's always great because it's a free search, effectively. And then Thief, the nice thing about the Woods Girl is she can start, very rare, but she starts at one of her enemies. She starts in the house. So she can score that right away. I've always been very lucky with Woods Girl in these games. So let's roll where the Spellmaster is. 3, 6. Caves, 6. Well, that's a little less than lucky. It's not far from her, though, actually. That's pretty darn. All things said and done, that is actually fairly lucky. There you go. So she is done. That was easy for her. White Knight gets locate statue, explore the cliff. Where is the cliff in relation to the knight? uh, where is it? Here it is. Wow. Again, super close. So explore cliff, locate statue, and windfall. And keep in mind, the knight is going to stay probably all day anyway at the order to get his morning stars. So that's a good draw for him too. So First two characters had really, really lucky draws, I think. The Druid. So if we look at the Druid, for spells, I picked Summon Animal and Poison. And I'm going to rule that a summoned animal could get poison on their bits there. So we're gonna go with that. I do need to swap around these chits a little bit, just because, like that. I don't like having 3 type 8s. That's just too many. That's too bad. Okay, but so I think our idea would be killer summon druid. Now it's not going to be that great. We're obviously not going to kill. Remember, the druid usually can avoid combat most days anyway. So diplomat, ogres, envoy. So trade with a friendly group and trade with a neutral group. Um, uh, Unfriendly. Well, we can do that too. Not a giant fan of any of those. And then Troll Slayer. Jeez. So we could go trade at the rogues, so that's an easy one. So that's our neutral, but our friendly is going to be Bashkars or Lancers. So that's a little bit harder to manage. So that's going to be a little bit harder for us to get done. I think I'll keep it, but I'm going to ditch the other two for the moment. So we're going to keep Envoy. Now, the problem, of course, with ditching cards is that once you ditch them, you have to take the replacement. So it could just get worse. And it didn't get much better, actually. Dragon Slayer. Almost impossible for us. And then Happy Camper. So large campfire. That's not terrible. I mean, I'm going to obviously live with those, but we'll see. That is a subpar draw, I think, for the Druid. And now the Dwarf. And the Dwarf, pretty darn happy with where he's at. So locate altar and locate shrine. Those are a little luck based. And then merchant. Merchant is sort of cool. Now the problem with merchant for the dwarf is that, well, he's not super far away. Because you can remember, the dwarf in our game, the dwarf can take 4 actions, but he can only take 2 moves no matter what. Now that does not include extras. In the caves, he can go up to 3 moves because he's allowed to use his extra phase as a move. But here we go: 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And so he could trade here and sell here. I think he keeps merchant. And I think for now we're going to keep locate altar and locate shrine, just to see what pops in these 3 tiles. If they don't come up good, well, then obviously we're going to have to swap out and do something else. So I think that's our draws for the 4 characters. And that's where we're at. Last thing to do before we start is get 3 events on the board. And Goblin Bounty. A storm is coming. Well, that's right in the first week. And a dead adventure. So let's put storm is coming off to the side. Let's actually copy it and paste it and shrink it. down to a little teeny card. Okay. And let's put the dead adventurer out first. 2/4, so cavern 4. So we got a search dead adventurer in cavern 4. That's pretty good for our dwarf. Otherwise, it's just any goblin is worth some killing. And make a roll. So we need 2 dice. Let me copy, let me paste. Make these ones big. I'll paste again. These ones are little. Let's make a roll real quick. And this determines how many days from the first day. So it's going to be 6 days out. So that means it is going to be on day 7. So on day 7, storm is coming. You should be sheltered, or you're going to fatigue. If you are sheltered, you get a VP. There you go. And that's it. That's our first setup. Keep in mind the Woods Girl took control bats because I think that really is the spell for her for the most part. The White Knight took make whole because again I think that's the spell for him for the most part. The Druid took summon and poison. The idea is he's going to summon something, potentially poison it, so that it does an extra star of damage. The Dwarf took axe and helmet as his spell. He took smash crap. Okay. That's it. We're ready to roll here. So let's write some days for day 1. I mean, I think the Woods Girl, it behooves her to... I think it behooves us to hide. And we're going to do 3 searches in hopes of getting thief out the door. Okay? That's her. The White Knight, he is going to execute 4 trades as he does. And keep in mind that he is going to activate Windfall at the end of that day. Okay, that's his day. So those are pretty easy days. I do think the Druid, he doesn't have to actually buy anything, but he'll execute a trade phase. So we will execute a trade. We will hide first, just in case we get block battle. We'll then execute a trade phase. And then we don't really care what the trade phase does. We're going to go 1-2 to the Nutwoods here. So then we're going to move into the Nutwoods. And he's done. Our dwarf, so we are what? We are friendly with the guard, right? Yes, we're friendly with the guard. So we will execute a trade phase just to see what the guard has to buy, remembering that we have merchant. And then I think we will hide. And then we will move into the borderland. Done. And that's day 1. I'm trying on my NPR voice. Do you get it? So, all right, let's roll a monster roll first before we go any further. So on day 1, we're on serpents and demons. And we have the knight, the druid, the dwarf, and the woods girl. So first thing is first, the knight is going to trade. So he is going to try for the Morning Star. The Morning Star is 8. We are friendly. We subtract 1 from everything on the meeting table. And we're looking to get price times 2. So 16 bucks. So we're looking for, that's no deal. So that's, well, it's times 4. So that's 1 trade. This is our second trade. Nope, price times 3. Third trade. There we go, price times 2. So we got 16 bucks for the Morning Star. And technically we can look at their stuff, even though we have no intention of buying it. But you never know, it might be something magical for the White Knight. Magic Spectacles and the Dragon Fang Necklace. It doesn't suck, but we're looking for Morning Stars here, people. So that's 16 bucks. We're going to trade this for it for 10. So that's going to be 6 bucks. That means that we start with 4 bucks. Okay. And we are done. Our last trade. I mean, I suppose we could. We're going to try for this Magic Spectacles. You never know. Okay, done. So we are done. Nothing appears at the chapel. And we complete that. And then since we complete our day, we might as well, we'll cash Windfall in right now. And that's going to give us 5 bucks. So that gives us a total of 9. So let me turn Windfall in. Just like that. And we get to draw again, because as soon as you complete a thing, and you owe a pub crawl, that ain't good. That's not ideal. And a phase in all 4 garrisons. I mean, no. I mean, not. I mean, so you could go from the order to the guard. That's easy. You could get to. No, you actually can't get to the house like that. It is very possible. Oh, and actually, you can go this way. So you can actually go to the mountain. So you could go from here, up here, sorry, up here. Can't see it. Up here, all the way down to here. And then do a turn to go to the mountain here. And then you could use that to hit the other 2. I just don't know if that's worth the time. But for now, we're going to keep the card. So that's it. So White Knight is done. It's the Druid's turn. The Druid is going to make a trade fail. Oh, he's going to hide. He gets to roll 1 die on hides. So let's roll it. He is hidden. So that's good, just in case this goes awry, in case the rogues harass him. Those jerks. In case the rogues dink with our Druid. And I just leave these up because it's just me. Deft Gloves, that is a winner. We're going to try for the Deft Gloves. Now, we're not going to roll the Deft Gloves. We're neutral. No, and we do get trouble. Womp womp. So now we're unfriendly, and we roll again. And we do get a challenge. We either lose 5 widgets or we block battle. And I think we're going to lose the 5. We're going to lose the 5. And we'll mark our 10 gold for the first day. Because I just don't want to stop here. I do want to actually move down here, which we will. And I want to flip this. And it's the small campfire. Well, that is sort of fascinating. So that's cool that we found that so quickly. And indeed, I think the woodfolk are at the small campfire. How do we feel about the woodfolk? I don't think we're particularly fond of the woodfolk. No, they are indeed our enemy. We don't like them. They don't like us. Thankfully, we're hidden. But we have scored envoy, so I'm gonna. Well, we haven't scored it. We did execute a trade phase with the rogues, so we'll mark it there. And we are done. Dwarf turn. We're going to trade with the guard. So quick trade with the guard. Peace pipes and gripping dust. Weapon stays alerted at all times, even hit. That's actually sort of darn useful, weirdly enough. So something to consider. I think we're going to roll on the dust because it's cheap. We are friendly with these guys. The dust is $3 base. Let's roll. And we get 2. So it's price times 2. So we could buy it for 6, which we're going to buy it for 6. And we'll just write it here at 6. There you go. That's what we did. And so we have $4. And we get the gripping dust. And now we can sell that for 12 anywhere that we can sell. That is the merchant card. That's how it works. If we use the gripping dust in the meantime, well, we're going to fail that. Done. But it's free money, frankly. And so that's sort of cool. What else do we got going on here? We're going to hide and move twice. So 1, 2, we're going to move there. Are we hidden? We are indeed hidden. Done. What appears? Smoke, so dragons, and patter. That would be goblins in this tile. So no goblins, no dragons. Unfortunately, that means for the dwarf, the borderlands is not super useful. So be it. We've got to, got to pay attention to that. Hopefully, we'll find something in one of these tiles because he only really has 3 good tiles. The dwarf problem with the poor dwarf is he is really reliant on whether the caves have good crap in them or not. If they don't, he's usually in trouble. So dwarf is done, and now it's the woods girl. The woods girl is going to try her hand at thieving. So the soldiers are laughing and carousing and getting drunk, and the woods girl hides. She successfully hides, and now she's going to roll 3 times. 3 times. that took a lot of effort. So I will say, God, my hands are so I am so unflexible nowadays. That doing that with this hand, ooh, my right hand. It's crappy that my right hand's worse than my left. Theoretically, my right hand is my on hand. If she rolls a 4 or a 1, a locate result, that is a steal result in this case. And success. So the woods girl succeeds at thieving. So she actually scores thief. That gives her I'm sorry, I think I screwed up. Yeah, that's not -5. That's victory points. It's -5 prowess. There we go. So let me not screw the dude up. She scores thief, and she does get a treasure from their pile. And she actually gets to choose whether she wants the treasures, or whether she wants to try to get something from their whole pile. I think she's going to just go for treasures because I think she has the best weapon she's going to have. So, she gets to pick um, one or two. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 is the top. 6. So she's getting the ancient telescope here. And she is hidden, and something would appear, the wood folk, which she loves, she's friendly with, but the druid already pulled them away. So that is the end of our first day. Let's do a quick check here because we already have scores. The woods girl has 10 gold to start, so let's make sure. So she has 10 gold, done. She scored a card and has a point. There you go. The knight has 9 gold. No points, no nothing. He is done. The druid, unfortunately, has -5 prowess and 10 gold. And our buddy here, the dwarf, has 4 gold. And that's our day. Let's look at day 2. So the woods girl has drawn, instead of thief, she's drawn herbalist. So that is dank W. That's what she's looking for. And so to pick herbs, you roll peer until you get a 1, 2, or 3 result. Return to any dwelling with the herbs to score 1 VP and create a useful poultice. You get to choose what to create. You get 3 uses of the poultice. So it's actually pretty good. Especially if she gets like if you get the draught of vigor, that's bitching. So pretty good stuff. So we're gonna try. Oh, and keep in mind that normally we would have to roll for all these characters in, but if they're friendly, we don't roll. If they're hidden, I don't bother rolling. Because they're hidden. They don't make themselves known, blah blah blah, right? Because so and I know it's not the rules, but it's more thematic for me. So I'm just I go with it. So I think the woods girl is going to try to get to her spellmaster here, but the first thing she's going to do is she's going to move into the deep woods. So she's going to move into the deep woods. Then she's going to hide 2 times. And I mean, she'll alert just because. Or actually, it is probably better to simply search to see. Okay, done. White Knight is ready to roll. Does he? Does he take pub crawl? Because if he takes pub crawl, that's fine. I'm gonna take it. Let's do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get, and so because explore cliff is 2 points, pub crawl is 2 points, so he has 4 points in his hand right now, and they're both doable, even though it's gonna take a while to do. So we're gonna hide, and then we're gonna move and move and move again, and he's going to end up. Our goal is to end up 1, 2, 3 in cliff 2. And so, geez, okay. Well, hide, move, 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 cliff 2. And that will get him 2 things. First thing it'll get him pub crawl, chapel. We'll just mark it like that. The second thing it will get him is cliff 2. So we're going to mark here. What? Chapel, guardhouse, house, and inn. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. So there we go. So that's what he's going to do. Our druid is certainly going to look for folks he likes, because that will complete his envoy. So I don't think he's going to stay here with the wood folk. I think he's going to leave. But the Bashkars and who else? The Lancers? Yeah, the Bashkars and the Lancers are both campfire folk. The Lancers could appear. The Bashkars will not appear here. Right? No, they could. Okay. Well, geez, I think we're going to. Hate to say it, we're gonna hide. We're gonna sit. We'll just see if we can get lucky today. If not, we're gonna have to move on. Like we can't. So actually, we can be a little more clever, right? We can move into the deep woods. We can search. We can hide. We can move to the camp. So that at least gives us the ability maybe to peer in here and see what counters are here and get an idea. And then we'll move back with the caveat that it's a little more dangerous to do this. Maybe we don't do that because it is. I think we're going to go safe. Done. And now the dwarf is going to make his slow walk. I think we go 1, 2, and hide. I think we go to caves 5 and hide. So we're going to move, caves 5, extra hide. And technically, it's probably better to move and then extra hide because I don't want to get caught in a new place if the woods girl ends up in there, which I don't know if she will or not. Done. Okay, day 2 it is. 4, giants and trolls. Okay. Dwarf is first. The dwarf goes here, extra hide, and then here. He rolls 1 die. The red die will always count if I accidentally roll 2 dice. The dwarf is hidden. He flips these over. Dank is serpents, and flutter will be dragons and maybe bats, but nothing appears. White Knight is going 1, 2, 3. He's going to try to be hidden. He actually hides up here in the chapel. He is hidden. So he crosses off the chapel. He crosses off cliff 2, like that. And then what is in, oops, and I just added some crap there. Stink, that's going to draw, and Slither. Slither doesn't draw, but Stink will draw us a giant. Stink M is a giant. We are done. Woods Girl. She's going to move to the deep woods. She's going to hide twice. She succeeds. Searches, just in case there is something to find. 2. That would have been a. I'm going to say that's a locate, just in case, right? So let's roll. Let's see what the locate chart says. 2 is passages and clues. Cross off all passages. You can look at the map, chits, but don't cross anything off. So she's going to get dank and shrine. That's fine. Nothing appears. And then the druid. Now that's interesting for the dwarf. The shrine is over here. I don't know how he feels about that. It's not super far, but it is sort of out of his wheelhouse. But it's not far. So we'll have to see. The druid, what did he do? He hid 4 times. He rolls a single die to hide. So he rolls 4 dice. If any of them aren't a 6, that is a 6. I always go with, on a cocked die, what it says. So that's 1 die. It's a fail. He succeeds in the second one. He ends his turn there, and then the Lancers actually oblige and show up at the small campfire. Done. And that's it. And we have the White Knight. White Knight is going to auto-kill this guy, but we'll run through the motions anyway. So we are hidden. We play like that. First thing we do is we're going to play we're going to play this to flip this over. Now it becomes an H3, and we'll play a tremendous fight to make it tremendous 3, T3. Where do all our characters end up? 5. So they end up sliding down. Does the club flip? It does not. We auto hit the giant because we have a 3 time. He doesn't flip because it's a tremendous monster. And do tremendous damage. The giant is killed. And we're going to record 8 prowess there. Let's go to our White Knight sheet. Prowess is here. That's on day 2. And I am going to record giant, like that. Just to note where I got the notoriety from. Done. And I think that's the day. I think we're done. We are done. Okay, that's day 2. So day 3. So Woods Girl does want to get to her Spellmaster. I do think that's true. And what would she do if she got to the Spellmaster? I think she would take... Well, what is at the shrine? Unfortunately, darn, the shrine is type 1 and type 5. And actually, I am going to... Hold on. I'm going to cheese a little bit because I don't love... I don't love having to deal with it. I'm going to delete these because I don't need them. And then I'm going to do, so it's type 1 and type 5. Let me actually, I'll put that here. I'll put type 1 and 5, like that. And then I'll go get my spell decks, type 1, type 5. And now these are the permanent decks, so I need to put them somewhere. Let's put them here. Shuffle and shuffle, and we get one type 1 and one type 5. What order do they go in? And so what I don't like, let's see. Oh, did I lock these? Yeah, I locked these two. Oh, can I pick these up again easily? Yes, I can. Done. So they're there. So that'll make that a little bit easier for me to deal with. Um, okay. So yeah. Okay, done. That's where we're at. We are now doing, we're trying to figure out day 3. Obviously, the Woods Girl wants to get to her Shrine Master. She can only take 2 phases if she touches the caves, though. Now, she does know what's in them. And I think she wins a little bit because I think she knows she can dodge the snakes and anything that comes with a flutter, even the bats, she can run from. So I think she's going to do move, move. So I think she's just going to walk in there and she's going to move and move to the Spellmaster. Done. So that is her planned day. The White Knight, happy with his Druid killing, for sure. Um, I think he's going to hit 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think he's going to walk down to the guard. Now, he doesn't, I don't think he cares one way or the other about the guard much. Yeah, he's not unfriendly. He's not friendly. He is neutral with the guard. I think he's going to risk that. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason is he's going to get Cliff 3, 5. Go in here. It's a safe move. Doesn't have to hide. And he can always come back to finish this. And that gives him half of his pub crawl is done already. And in a couple days, he'll have the cliff done. So I think that is the move here. So he's going to go. And the funny part is, if he did want to fight the guard, he would wreck them because that. But since he's neutral with them, he has no casus belli there, so he does not. He does not. If they insult him, he actually would. That's the funny part. It's unlikely they will because he subtracts 1. So super unlikely. In fact, I think it's impossible. Actually, oh no, it's not impossible. No, is it? I'll have to look. Anyway, not an issue. He's going to move, 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 move to the guardhouse. Done. So 4 moves to the guard. And he is going to record PC guardhouse and CF, I think 3 and 5. Done. That is his intent. What is the Druid going to do? So the Druid needs to execute a trade phase with the Lancers. So he's going to trade with the Lancers. That will theoretically give him Envoy. And once he gets Envoy, I think what he does is he's going to choose the rogues to become friendly, maybe? He could pick the order, but I don't know that that's a winner for him. They're way across the board. So I think he's going to trade. I think he's going to hopefully score Envoy. Right? So that's what he's going to do. So he's going to trade. And I think otherwise, so he could go back, he could hire swordsmen. And the nice thing about swordsmen would be that the weird thing about swordsmen are that they're pretty good if you poison, because at that point they get their M star star characters. And M star star, that's tremendous damage. Now, unarmored, tremendous, but it's at a time 3. So these swordsmen are actually really good with poison blades. Um, so that's weirdly fascinating with friendly rogues that he might hire them. The other thing you could think of doing is hiring 2 rogues, coming down here, summoning animals, and trying to clear out the woodfolk, because the woodfolk are his enemies. So he does have a reason to attack them. So oh, that is tempting. Wow, could you imagine? So this is like Evil Druid. I've never played Evil Druid. I've always played Avoid Combat at All Costs Druid. This this is a strangely fun potential Druid here. I am going to do this. So I am going to trade, and then I am going to move and move back to the inn. And I will hide at that point, just in case. And we will have probably scored Envoy by then. And next day, we might roll just a bunch of higher phases and get druids, the top 2 druids. There's only 3 woodfolk. If we grab the top 2 druids, um, now don't get me wrong, it's still, the woodfolk could gut these guys if they get, if we get unlucky. But you could also get lucky. There's a 70% chance that they do not flip to their alerted side. And without that, they don't attack. And if they don't attack, well, guess what? They're going to get rolled pretty quick. So I think we're gonna do it. I think we're playing bad druid, dark druid, emo druid, druid the cure. No, anyway, done. That's our day 3. Our dwarf. So our dwarf is not super happy so far because he is staring down the barrel of nothing in 2 of 3 of his important tiles. So the dwarf is going to head back to Borderland 5, and then he's going to search. So move to BL5, extra hide, search, done. And he's going to look for that path and see what he can find here. This is a good path to find. It does cut, almost a whole day off of his trip, assuming he finds it. So done. And that's it. That's day 3. What's in store? 5 spiders and imps. Okay, that's cool. That is cool. Woods Girl is first. Woods Girl goes 1-2. She is done. There are no spiders and no imps coming there. The dwarf goes 1. He's going to hide, so he rolls a single die. He is hidden, and he's going to search a locate. He needs a 1, 2, or 3 to find that passage, and he gets a 3. So he marks off Borderland 4-5. Borderland 4-5 green is marked. Done. And that's his day. But now the question is, does anything appear? Powder's in the mountains, so no. That was all goblins. Now we have the Druid. Druid is going to trade with the Lancers, so we will look at their stuff. Withered Claw and Quick Boots. We will certainly roll on the Quick Boots, even though it's vaguely pointless. We're not going to buy the Quick Boots, probably. No deal. But we did execute the trade. And frankly, that's all that matters. So we are going to score Envoy. And we're going to write down there that the rogues are now our friends. Done. So that scores us a card. And we get a new card, of course, right away. Troll Slayer, and now we move, move, and now we try to hide. And we succeed. Done. Does anything appear at the inn on a 5? No. Bash cards. And we're done. And we get Troll Slayer. Well, that's great. We're not slaying any trolls, let me tell you. We could with a rogue with poison. You can kill a heavy troll. Done. There you go. So, Druid is done. The White Knight goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and blunders on into the guardhouse and says hello. And he gets 3-5 there, and he marks the guardhouse off of his pub crawl. And he gets blasted at the guardhouse. I mean, he's pub crawling. That's what that means, right? So he's done. And that's our day. And I think nothing appears. So let's quickly mark down. So our Druid scored. We got Troll Slayer, which we wrote down, I think. I think we are good with everyone here. So we are ready for day 4. I'm going to pause you for one moment. And just take a quick break here, get something to drink, and so on. I'll be back in a second. What is my pause? All right, so we're back to write day 4. So first thing is the Spellmaster. She needs to execute a quest phase. She's going to spend 5 gold. And she will score. Potentially the Spellmaster. At that point, I think she... what's her next goal? Dank W. Well, she could get lucky and it's here. So I think we're going to start with that as the plan. So she's going to move to Caves 1. So move, Caves 1, done. She is done. All right, White Knight. So the White Knight is kicking his pub crawl pretty well, actually. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then hide. So up into the cliff, cliff 3, and hide. Move, cliff 3, hide. I mean, we hide first, of course. Hide, move, cliff 3, done. And the Druid. He's now friendly with the rogues. He's going to he's going to hide once because who knows who can show up. Hire 3 times, done. Then he's going to look at these to see if he wants to keep them. And then finally it's the Dwarf. And the Dwarf, like I said, a little bummed, but he's going to go 1, 2, and hide in Cavern 2. So extra hide, move to Cavern 2. Done. And that's day 4. Let's get a monster roll for day 4. 6 bats. Womp womp. Oh, and by the way, we got these guys, as always. They stay up here. Okay. Oh, do these slayers? No. Oh, when you draw this card, play a visitor at a dwelling of your choice. So yeah. So Troll Slayer, the Druid can play someone. He's going to play, the crone. Sure. And he plays that up here. So the crone is there. I should read those cards a little more carefully. There's a few that say, hey, when you draw this card, place this visitor. So keep that in mind. Yeah, okay. All right, so we are, I think, ready for day 4. I don't know. I think we're sort of right. I think we are ready to go. We got bats rolled, and now it's just a question of who goes when. Dwarf first. So the dwarf's 1, 2. Dwarf will hide. 1 die is hidden. And let's see what goes on here. It is stink and roar 4. So truly, there is nothing in the caves for the dwarf. Oh, jeez. I think he picks up the adventurer for sure, and then's going to go to finish his merchanting. Darn it! And I do need to pause one more time. Sorry. Okay, I actually don't. I do have a receptacle here for this tea ball. Drinking tea, it's a little easier on my throat than coffee is, or liquor. If I put the liquor in the tea, maybe that'll go. So okay, nothing. Dwarf is done. It is the Druid. The Druid is going to hire with his newfound buddies. So he's friendly with the rogues. He gets 3 higher phases. He's looking for cheap. That's a no deal. So that's 1 phase, 2 phases, price times 2. He will hire Rogue 7 for 2. So that's -2. And he's going to hire Rogue 6, hopefully. Let's do it. For 3. So -5. And he will hire Rogue 7 and Rogue 6. They join his retinue. And we add 15 to this. And 6. Done. And that's his day. And does anything appear? No, because it's a 6. So we are done. Woods Girl. She does her quest thing. She goes -5. She scores. Spellmaster. It's going to give her a second card. She now gets to choose a magic chit she wants. That's a good question. Ideally, she would want like a something she could get effectively. She also wants something that she can turn into color, because that then allows her to cast control bats. So, and not on the 7th day. So that's why that makes that powerful. So we are going to pick. I don't know what would be great for her otherwise, though. So I am going to say, and she hasn't seen any treasures necessarily that would lead her or anything one way or the other. I would say that she is going to go for type 2. So that's what she's going to grab. She's going to grab a type 2 chit. And so the question is, does the Druid have a type 2 4? Does he have a speed 4? He has a speed 3. Well, gosh darn it. Okay. Who might have a type 2 4? Wizard? Done. So this is her new chit, and she's just going to put it right there. That's Spellmaster, so she scores. She gets the chit. Done. She gets Tiny Hut, and she gets to place a visitor. Technically, she's going to place it tomorrow, but we'll let her place it right now just because. Who has type 2 spells? The Shaman. So she's going to place the Shaman at a tiny hut in a valley clearing of your choice. So I think she is going to go and just put him here. And that's what she's going to do. So then she will ditch that, and we'll take a card and keep it down like that. So she is done. Because I usually forget to play them and stuff like that's the problem. So she has completed Spellmaster. So let's comp that, change the cards, change her score. And it's the White Knight's turn. Oh, does she get anything? So she's there. She does, actually. She's going to draw a bat. And that's going to make her life a little difficult. She's not hidden. So she's going to have to flee from the bat, which is going to push her back this way. And that's going to suck for her a little bit. Now it's the White Knight's turn. He goes 1, 2, 3. He's going to roll to be hidden. And he fails. I don't think anything appears, and so he is safe. So that's our day. It's pretty much the Woods Girl stuck with the bat. The Woods Girl is going to play this. She's going to have to fatigue an asterisk. That costs her because it's going to waste like a day or so easily. To get moving. Oh no, Flutter 2. It does not appear on her, so it doesn't matter. Okay, perfect. Done. So she doesn't have to run. She doesn't have to fatigue. Perfect. That's way better. Okay. Now the storm is getting closer, and so we should really consider for all of our characters, what does it mean to be sheltered in 2 days? Well, 3 days, right? Because 5, 6, and 7. End of day 7. So the Woods Girl's not going to sit around in this cave. That just doesn't make sense. I would say she goes 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to just run to the Linden Wood. Move, 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 move. Linden Wood. Done. She's going to run. Hopefully it's a dank W chick. The White Knight has to sit and find this guy here. So he is going to hide. Search, search, search. This chip is back. That shit is back. Done. Druid. So the Druid ended his day here, and so we have to look and see. Does he want to keep Troll Slayer and Dragon Slayer, or does he want other crap? I think he's going to take 2 more cards, which he has to keep. He can't. We'd have to spend another day there. Consult Demon, that's interesting, and Quiet Night. Quiet Night is a rest, free rest. So after a big fight where he burned a lot of spell chits, that would be where we would go. Okay. Okay. All right. What's the Druid going to do? Well, the Druid is going to hide and move, move. I think hide, hide, move, move. That's pretty much where he is. With the caveat that you hide, move, move, alert. I think maybe he does that. So I'm going to hide, move, move to the camp, and alert. And we're going to alert our type 2 here so that we can cast Summon Animal as quickly as possible. And the nice thing about Summon Animal is all we need is a 5 to get something that can kill one of these wood folk. These wood folk are not hardy. They're not sturdy folk. Or is that not true? Yeah, they can do medium damage. It's not great, but they can do it. The 4 is the ultimate against these guys, since they would be able to hit quite a bit. And then something big would just hopefully tank one of them. It's not a safe fight in any case. And then for the Dwarf. So the Dwarf is now looking at being a little bit stuck. I think we go and pick up the Dead Adventure. So I think we're going to go 1, 2. Stink C is going to draw trolls. Dead Adventure is a little bit of a haul to get to. You're still talking 2 days to get there. I think we have to do it. I think we're sort of committed to getting that done, right? Make a run for it, but you could get stuck. So I think we're going to hide and go to 6. Extra hide, move, move, 6. Done. All right. It's day 5, I think. Yeah, it's day 5. Let's roll for day 5. We get bats again. Ooh, that sucks a little bit. White knight is first. White knight is hiding. He succeeds. He's going to search 3 times. He's looking for a 1, 2, or 3. Fail. Fail. Come on. You got this. That's a success. And so he finds 6-3 cliffs. Done. That's his day, and I don't think bats appear for him today, and they don't. Woods Girl goes... I think she screwed up. She can only go 1, 2. And that's all she can do. She wrote 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually not right. It's move to the deep woods. The other ones are gone. We'll draw this card, Bridge Magic. It's another good one for her, but I don't know how it fits with her position on the board. I don't see 1,000 bridges she can actually get to right away. So she is done. Nothing appears there with bats. She's looking for the orange circle. Druid time. Druid marches down with his boys. He is hiding once, so anything but a 6 is golden, and he is hidden. So he hides, and he alerts, and he's going to alert that Chet. Done. And now, now it is the dwarf, and the dwarf goes 1, 2, rolls a single die to hide. He is hidden. Nothing appears. So it is a quiet day as far as monsters go. Let's see if we have anything going here. So the druid is going to pull 3 guys here. He now has 2 buddy sheets. He doesn't need to poison. What he needs to do is summon. On round 1. Effectively summon on round 1 is what you would do. And not put anybody on anybody's sheet. So we're just going to stay like this. So I'm going to summon. That's going to fatigue these 2 chits. And we're going to get an animal. Looking for something fast. Gets a 3. So he can either take a serpent. It's not terrible. Or he can take a bat. Serpent has the advantage that it's bigger and tougher and might survive one of these guys' arrows a little better with the sharpness star. The bat has the advantage that at some point, like if these guys flip, the bat can undercut and kill one of them. And he can't undercut elsewise. So that is a rough, because you're literally talking. So both of them are so it's effectively what you're actually just saying is do we take a sharpness star off that guy or not? Right? It's each of these dudes is dangerous. If they flip, they are dangerous. And so the question is really offense or defense? That's it. I'm going to say defense, and I'll tell you why. Because if they flip, they're gonna go first, and they're gonna hit. So we're gonna go for the serpent, and our serpents are, I think it's that guy pretty much. So we draw a serpent. Do we remain hidden or not? Because we cast, and we do not remain hidden. So we are now unhidden, and they are hostile, we are hostile. It's all on effectively now. So what I am going to do is I am going to put doesn't really matter what side we play on. We either we either hit them on this side or hit them on the other side, right? I mean, in either way, we're going to do the same amount of damage to them. Oh, we have 3 buddy sheets now. So there you go. So we're luring, obviously, with all of our guys. And we will attack also. If he flips, he's going to be a 4. So we're going to attack him with L star damage. And that's it. That's what we're going to do. So what we need is we need these guys to not flip. We need to get lucky. This is actually round 2 in the combat, so speed is first. The elves, the woodfolk have the advantage as far as attacking first all the time, if they do indeed attack. So here we go. So first thing is first, where does this guy end up? We're hoping for a 1 or 4. It's a 6. So he's going to shift down to there. Does he flip or not? We're hoping not, and he does not. Done. Okay. Next guy. 1 or 4 is good. 6, he flips down to the bottom. Now we're hoping for not a 6. And we get not a 6. Done. Down here. Where does he go? We're looking for a bevy of numbers. 3. So he flips to here. That's good for us. Does he flip? We're looking for no. No, he does not flip. Okay. That's good. So these are all misses. The elves are scrambling for their bows as they see the druid coming up with a huge snake and 2 thugs in tow. The druid's wearing leather and spikes and stuff, right? And so they scramble for their bows. We pull a dagger. Maybe he comes out to talk and insult us and tell us to get out of, get off his lawn, and then we knife him. We do medium damage, so everyone carries a dagger, which is negligible star. We overstrength it to light star. That is medium on an unarmored target, and it kills the woodfolk leader. That's our first kill of the day here. So we are now going to deploy onto this sheet. The defender will be the serpent, and we will be attackers, just like that. Done. Okay. So this is round 3. We have not yet had a round where no one was killed or wounded or whatever, so we are good to go. So first guy. Oh, where does he end up? We're going to play him here, by the way. So he goes down 1. Does he flip? This is the bad. Yep. Okay. So this is where it goes awry. So Let's reconcile this attack. So he is going to hit him first for L star damage. Unfortunately, so he rolls a single die on the missile table. We're looking for high numbers. 2. Nope, that's not a high number. That's a pretty good number. He's going to do tremendous damage and kill the rogue. Thunk, and he is dead. We're down here. So now the Denizen has to roll 5. He's going to go down 1. The attackers and defenders have to roll where they go. He goes down 1. He goes down 1. That's pretty funny. Does the archer flip? He does not flip. He is ripped to shreds. Killed by the rogue, actually, since the rogue will go first. So that's the second kill, but neither of these kills actually line up yet for multipliers. And so for the next round, we will deploy again. Same thing. He'll deploy last and be the target. And we're going to go and attack just like that. Where does the woodfolk go? He goes down to the bottom. Where do our guys go? He stays put, which sucks, and he goes down 1, which sucks. So we're all going to miss. Well, we're not going to miss. We're going to hit, but he goes first to attack the serpent. How much damage does he do? He does L star. Ooh, lordy. He does M star effectively. So M star, which is reduced by 1 to M star. That is heavy damage. He's going to kill the serpent, which doesn't matter. It's a summon. But then we are going to kill him. He actually goes first, and he kills the woodfolk. Done. Serpent is gone. I can just delete him. We get 12 prowess. We get 6 gold. We lose 2 prowess because our guy died. R7 is dead. And so we're up to 5 prowess. Okay, that's cool. We're up to 11 gold, which we actually needed to check that, which we didn't. We didn't do the woods girl, so bad GM. And these guys get ditched up here in the pool. Oh, we can highlight them and group them, right? Yes, no? Oh, that sucks. That you can't make a stack out of these guys. Like you can cards. Makes no sense, by the way. Okay. So the woodfolk have been gutted, just totally gutted by the druid who has killed his enemy. But we lost good old rogue 7. So we're going to put him in the dead pile also. Rogue 6 stays with us. We get our L3 chit back. We mourn his buddy, but celebrate the victory over the foul woodfolk. And now the Lancers take over the small campfire. Bam. Okay. Not bad, actually. Not bad. So I think that's it, though, right? I don't think we have anything else today. And we got to write day 6. I want to check. I do want to check. So we're going to play immediately Quiet Night to get 4 rest phases. So that's 1, 2, 3. Done. And so Quiet Night completes, and we draw Rescue. That's pretty good, actually. So before we write day 6, let's quickly take a look because we actually do now have um, we have a weird situation where the Druid effectively has 5 points because he is now winning gold because he has more than 10 and he's got the most, and prowess because he has the most. Because I'm sorry, he does not have the most. The White Knight has the most, and we needed to score the White Knight. So the White Knight actually has a prowess. So he's winning prowess. And so our scores actually now are 4 to 2 to 2. Right? So whoever's winning prowess and whoever's winning gold, but since everybody starts at 10, you have to have more than 10. So anyone winning those 4 categories on the right there, aside from cards are just the amount of points. You can score 2, 1, or 0 in prowess, gold, great treasures, or spells. And you can see that the Druid is winning gold and in second place in prowess. He would be in first place, maybe, had his guy not done. Well, and he got insulted too. So, all right. So it's day 6. We do have the issue of sheltering. So first is the Woods Girl. So I'm going to go I'm going to go 1, 2. So the Woods Girl's going to go into the Nutwoods. Moo moo, Nutwoods. I mean, she might as well hide. She might as well hide twice. Right? Done. She wants to turn that over. She has to flip that thing. So she's going to flip it. So she is done. Who's next? The White Knight. So the White Knight, having found this path here, is going to walk up into 6. So he's going to move into 6. It costs 2 to go into a mountain, which sucks. It does suck for him a little bit. So what can appear here? So he's either going to get another giant, potentially a spider. The giant is the dangerous one in a weird way. The spider could be dangerous, but the giant is most dangerous to him. And that's going to happen on. Oops, I'm sorry. That's going to happen on. So spider. Now hidden, neither of them are dangerous. It's the unhidden that is bothersome. And the reason I'm trying to check unhidden is because what I would like to do is looking at the map here and knowing what I know. So he has a couple choices. One is to move up into 6 and just hide. And that's fine. But then tomorrow in day 7, he's not going to be able to get into this cave to be sheltered. He's stuck. So he would just have to fatigue. Now he has a rest phase. He's pretty good at curing fatigue. But he would lose out on the victory point. So he would sort of fall behind. He could, on the other hand, just run 1, 2, 3, 4, done, and be sheltered. And he could do that. But you're wasting time. You're wasting a day, actually 2 days, because it would take you a day to get there and a day to get back to where you were. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So you would waste a whole 2 days to get there. The other thing he could do is he could go 1, 2, 3, 4. He could move to here, and then knowing that he could just hide and sneak into here the next day on day 7 and hopefully be hidden and be sheltered, score his point. And yeah, that's going to stink a little bit, but he does get credit for being sheltered. Now, it stinks because he has to move out into the mountain the day after, and that's sort of an unhidden gig. So that would largely be he would be spending like a whole couple of days. I don't love it. I don't love that either. Or he just plays it safe and knows he's going to have to fatigue. The reason I don't love it is because he's going to move into a cave. So this would be his day 7 would be here. Oops. So let's say a troll appeared, or you'd more likely get 2 trolls. But let's say, yeah, you get the 2 trolls. Let's say these 2 trolls appeared. Well, then the problem is that he can't walk out into this because it costs 2 phases to get here. And so at the end of his first phase, he would still be in the caves. So the trolls would catch him. So he would be on day 7 hoping to not roll that at least. But 2 dice because day 7s are particularly dangerous in our realm here. So either way, he's sort of stuck. And this is a weird choice to make. So you either go and just play it safe for a day. He could go. So I'm going to go and move 6-4. So I'm going to make the move. I'm going to do move 6, move 4. And that's going to get him cliff 6-4. And that puts him 1 away from clearing the cliff. Done. It's not a great, but he then has a choice what he wants to do tomorrow. He can just literally make a call. And I think his fighting the giant or the spider is better than trolls. So I think that's what we're going to do for him on day 6. For the druid on day 6, I mean, the druid is going to loot. He is going to loot the heck out of these guys' stuff. It's not going to be a lot of things that he's going to get, but he is going to can anything else appear at the small campfire that he doesn't want? No, I think everything else is his buddy. So I think the druid is oops, wrong guy. I think the druid is search, and that's it. That is his day. He's going to try to find some loot and done. And then finally, the dwarf here. What is the dwarf doing? The dwarf moves into the dead adventurer, so he's going to move to the DA. What's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is we roll trolls and he gets all 3 of them. That ain't good because he can't. So he is going to have to hide and search. So he will extra hide, move to the DA here, move 4, really. We know what it is, and search. Done. And that's it. That is day 6. So pretty interesting, actually, so far. Even though not a ton of monsters have appeared. So we get serpents and demons. Ew. Okay, let's see what happens. White Knight is first. And so we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We get Slither 3. And Slither 3 is going to pull these guys into the mountains. That's okay. That's fine. That is fine. And we have marked off more cliff. Oops. The Woods Girl is going to go. She goes 1, 2. She's going to hide. Yeah, and she is hidden. Flips it, and it is ruins. And that is unhelpful to her. Done. It would be wolves on a 3. She knows it at least, and done. He goes in. The dwarf is going to hide if he can. He is hidden. He's going to search. He's looking for a 1 or a 4. So he has a 33, and he fails. Do we get anything? We do not get anything. And he is done. And now the druid is going to loot 4 times. So 6. So what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's only 4 treasures here. So he needs to roll a 4 or less. So that's 1 loot, 2 loots. He gets a 3. So he gets the topmost treasure there. 1, 2. He pulls that. Cloak of Mist, extra hide phase. Not a problem for the druid. 3. That's a fail. And 4, he's looking for a 3, 2, or 1, and he fails. So, not great, but he does get at least one thing out of there. So we are done. And I really should figure out a way to put 2 of those on there. Anyway, okay. That is day 6. I don't think anything appears except for the serpents here. I think we are clear everywhere. Yes, done. So it is dangerous day 7. So we got to write our day 7. So the Woods Girl. If the demon pops the shrine, she can flee. If the spiders appear, she can flee. So I'm going to go 1, 2 into the deep woods. So she's going to move to the shrine. She's going to search with a sudden insight and search again. Done. So she's going to loot it. She's going to go bam, bam, loot it, done. That's what she is going to do on her day 7. The White Knight. The White Knight is going to move to 6. Well, he's going to hide, move to 6. Done. It's going to slow play it because it's day 7 again. So he would rather not get waylaid by anything if possible. Druid. So if we do roll a 2, then our boys are coming back. So we do need to be at least a little bit wary of that. So I think we're going to try to bank on there not being a whatchamacallit 2 there. We're going to hide and search just in case. Done. And the dwarf is going to hide and search. And that's it. And it is day 7. There is white magic and black magic in every clearing. We're rolling 2 dice. 6 and a 4. So we're going to have bats and giants and trolls. So first thing is first, this giant returns. The Lancers return. I mean, they are the Lancers. They have lances. That's what they do. The bat returns to the map. Done. Or to the board. And now we have the White Knight, our Druid, our Dwarf. So the White Knight goes here. He hides 2 times. Let's roll it. And we are hidden. But we're going to get the Giant hitting up again. And so we get our second Giant just like that. And we are done. Druid is going to hide. He hides and he gets an extra. Oh, he gets an. I'm sorry. The Druid gets an extra hide. So he can still do 4 searches. Cool. That's good. That's fun. So we are hidden. We get 4 searches. So we're going to loot 4 times. We're looking for a 3, 2, or 1. That's a fail. 1, 2, that's a fail. 3 is a success. We pull the medium bow. And I think we're going to have our guy carry it here. So we can use his carry capacity. And I think we get 1 more. Oh my, we get the light bow, which will carry that. I mean, that was a good haul. I don't know that we use any of these. I mean, maybe we use the bow, but maybe we don't. Because it's just as easy to knife someone. Now we can ambush, which is sort of cool. And I suppose we should keep in mind that we do roll a single die when hiding. So strangely enough, we are a great ambusher. We're just a shitty archer. So maybe we activate the bow? I'm going to activate the bow. So there you go. And I can't activate this because I can't actually wield it. But he's going to carry it for us. We're just going to go sell that thing. So we are done. And I don't think anyone... the Lancers do appear back here. So we can trade with them tomorrow. Hey, buddies. Okay. Dwarf. Dwarf is going to hide. He does. He's going to search 2 times. Oops, nope. Done. Zzz, zzz, zzz. There. We're going to search 2 times. And we get a 1, so we do find the dead adventurer. So what that means is we don't get a victory point. Instead, we get a small treasure from the small treasure deck here. And this can be a duplicate. That's allowed. This is what the adventurer was carrying, effectively. So we get penetrating grease. That's not terrible for our dwarf here. Weapon inflicts the same damage as unarmored. The reason that's good is because if we need to hit something with this H4 that's tremendous and armored, we can do it. So that's nice. If we take this back to a dwelling, which we're going to, we get the victory point. So the dead adventurer is found. I'm going to put him here. Just a note. And I'm actually going to copy this card and paste it and shrink it because bounties last 2 weeks. So this bounty, I like to put the things on the board so it's easy to just see when. Oops. Oh. You know, even if you can't read it anymore, you can at least vaguely see what it is, right? So we can see that there's a storm coming on day 7, blah, blah, blah. So the dwarf moves and searches and done, but we're going to get some heat. And the reason we're going to get heat is because we get roar and stink. So everything draws. We are hidden, so thank flippin' goodness. We can kill all those. It's just, that's a rough haul to be killing those guys. And then she goes 1, 2, searches, so she finds the shrine. Let's mark the shrine off because she's going to use sudden insight to find the shrine. So the shrine is done, and her last thing is a loot of the shrine. So she's going to roll. I think the shrine is 4, 3. Oop, did we lock these? Yeah, probably. Lock, unlock, and unlock, please. There we go. It's 4, 3, 2, 1 are good. She's looking for a 3. So she's going to draw the third treasure in the shrine. So she draws a third card. It is the Royal Scepter, extra hide phase, or higher phase, which no one cares. But the beauty of the Royal Scepter is it's a great treasure. So we are going to have to figure that out here in a moment. And she gets the challenge. And we will reconcile here in a moment. Does anything appear? No. So, okay. Let's do so the knight's easy. The knight is actually going to auto kill this giant. It's the same spiel as last time. Since he is hidden, he plays a chit to flip this, and then it doesn't matter what the giant does. He jumps out from behind the rock, and with tremendous damage is going to kill him. We don't have to roll this one out. Hidden with the Morning Star, giants are auto kills for the White Knight. Hidden. So we're going to give ourselves, and I do need to do one thing though. I do need to mark that the Druid, but we will mark. So we're going to mark giant. We're going to give him 8 prowess, and that's 16 done. So that's good. That's great. Good for the knight. Let's go to the Druid real quick. And what I want to do is I want to mark that we killed 3 woodfolk. And we lost R7. So that's, and I'll put 2 minuses there for R7. So that way we know. That way we have an idea of what caused him to get that notoriety. That helps us. He was insulted. Done. So that's cool. So the knight is done with his fight there. We do want to check real quick, like what is our disposition here with these 3? Here's the problem. The problem with the trolls is simply that they're slightly too fast for us to auto hit them. We can dodge them all day, and so we could fight any one of them because we would duck, we would cover our move with our attack, and we would then kill the troll as it killed us, unless we fatigued out. 3 trolls, no dice. The dwarf is not fast enough on attack to kill 3 trolls without some kind of treasure. So we're just going to sit in the cave, hidden and quiet. And that ends day 7. What we need to do is let's do a quick reconciliation of everything to get the scores done, and then we'll end the week here after a couple hours. So we have Herbalist Bridge Magic in the challenge. She does get to roll that challenge. So it's a random group. So she is +2. It's the woodfolk. So she actually does get. So she drags a woodfolk back. And it's a random dwelling, right? I think it's a random dwelling too. So the wood folk in the small campfire. So strangely enough, this wood folk is awaiting her at the small campfire. So it is wood folk 2 at small campfire. So that's who wants to tangle with her. He heard that she put the druid up to do that. She does have a great treasure, so we'll mark that on her sheet, T1. And what that's going to do for her score is it's going to give her 2 more points because she is now in the lead with great treasures. As long as she doesn't sell that, she's in the lead with great treasures for now. Done. Challenge is not great for the wood girl ever because she's an archer. She's used to hiding in the shadows and shooting someone down. If that dude flips and attacks her, she's going to be in a world of hurt. So done. I have to think about that. The White Knight has 16 prowess. That puts him in the lead for prowess, which we have already. He has almost explored the cliff, but not quite. And he has 2 more places to go for pub crawl. I think his sheet is in order and his points are in order. He has not done a card yet, but he's almost going to do, he's going to get 2 victory points here in a minute. Day 8, he'll have 2 victory points. The Druid. So the Druid lost 5 points on prowess on insult. He scored a card on envoy. He killed a bunch of wood folk. Lost R7, done. Gained a bunch of gold. That's it. That's where he's at. He has consult demon, rescue. I think his sheet is also up to date. So, okay, that's good. And now finally, our pal the dwarf here. With nothing at all. The dwarf has absolutely been plagued by what I would argue is bad RNG, because this map looked like it was ace for the dwarf, but it isn't, because there is literally nothing in here for him. So he's got no points. So I think that's where we're at. I think that closes out our week. This is week 1. It's been actually very eventful week 1. Our score is 4-4 to 2 to 0. Woods Girl and the Druid are sort of leading, and I think the Druid is made an interesting play there. I thought found his opponent, his enemy, and killed them. Now he cannot kill this guy. This guy, for all intents and purposes, does not really exist. He exists only for our Woods Girl. He is hanging around for her challenge. So we're just going to put that on there so we remember. Done. So we're going to save this game. WWDD for the initials of all the characters. Thank you for watching. If you managed to stay for the whole 2 hours, I do appreciate it. This was a cool first week, and I'm very interested to see how this game is going to go. And I actually like this play with the Druid. I like how this is going. This might give me a little bit of new Druid putzing a little bit here, because usually the Druid's very passive. I like this active, sort of slightly evil, brooding, moody, mascara wearing Druid. I like it. So let's stick with this. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys.